when you want to find average test score, let's say, what do? Like, let's say that you have 100 on your first test, you have 90 on your second test, and let's say that you got like 60 on the third test. What do you do when you want to find the average? Well, you add up everything, right? And then you divide by the number of tests you took. So that's how you find average. Average involves taking the total by and dividing it by the number of items or elements you added. So remember that, and let's look at these average cost, average revenue, and average profit functions. Okay, if C of X is the total cost of producing X items, but you want to find the average cost of producing just one X item, okay, what you have to do is take that C of X and divide by X. So it becomes a quotient function. So write down C of X divided by X. And that is what we call the, let me highlight this in blue pen, average cost function for producing X items. Now, the other ones are going to be the same. If you want to find the average revenue function, okay, average revenue function of selling X items, you take the revenue function, total revenue function, and divide it by X. Same thing. Down here, if you want to find the average profit function, you take the total profit, the P of X, and you divide it by what? X. And let me give you some notation over here. The average function, we can use this symbol C with the bar on top, okay? So if I ever use that in class, you'll know that symbol means the average cost. Similarly, if I want to call it average revenue, I can put a bar on top of R and say R of X like this, and that's the average revenue. And lastly, the profit. Let me move this green a little bit to the side. If I want to talk about average profit, I'll put P bar and of X, okay? But just notation, if you see these bars on top of these R's and P's and C's, that just means average of those, okay? All right, let's use, let's do an example of this, okay? So Paul's greenhouse finds that the cost in dollars of growing X 100 geraniums is modeled by this function. So they gave us the cost function. And they also are giving us the revenue function. And this is the revenue from the sale of X 100 geraniums. They give us this equation. And they want us to find the following. First, find the average cost when 300 geraniums are grown and sold. So let's write the average cost function first, okay? So the average cost is going to be cost function divided by X, okay? So do 200 plus 100 times 4th root of X divided by X. And this is what you're going to plug in 300 into. But hold on, I think we gotta be careful over here though, because they gave me 300 geraniums, right? But X units are in X 100. So instead of plugging in like 300, I'm gonna plug in X equals 3 because we have 300 geraniums and X is going up by, the X unit is X hundredths. So when they say 300, okay, if I write down 300, that's what we have, right? You see what X is, right? X has to be 3, not 300. So that's why I'm plugging in 3 into this function. Oh, I almost got the wrong thing. All right, let's plug in 3. I'll get 200 plus 100 times 4th root of 3 over 3. Pause the video. Use a scientific calculator to find that answer, okay? Or I typed this in and I got 110.54. And what was this money unit in? Was it just in dollars? Yeah, I don't think it's in thousands of dollars or anything like that. It just says in dollars. So I'm gonna say this is $110.54. I rounded up. Okay. All right. Next one, they want us to find the average revenue. So what we're gonna have to do is um find. I think I use orange pen for this. Not that it matters, but I'm gonna find R bar of X, the average revenue function, which is the total revenue divided by X. Okay. So what was the revenue function? This one right there. So that's gonna be the top of the fraction. 90 times X all over X. Now we're going to plug in what number into it? 3. Oh, I hope you're not plugging in 300 because they make it sound like we're plugging in 300. But we have 300 geranium, so X has got to be 3. So 120 plus 90 times square root of 3, all divided by 3. All right, type this in. I'm going to pause the video real quick. When I type this in, I got $91.96. Okay, so we got average cost and average revenue. I think it sounds logical that they will ask us for the average profit. I mean, we can do the same thing, but there's no profit function. They never gave us the profit function. But profit, you can find it by subtracting revenue minus cost. So I should write it down. Okay, I should write that down for you over here. They never gave us the profit function. So write this down. You can find profit by subtracting revenue minus cost. Okay. So we have those numbers already. And we're talking about that same 300 geraniums. So let's find the average profit by subtracting the two numbers that we got. I guess we can subtract the functions and do it the longer way, but we don't really have to. So what was the revenue? $91.96. Oh my goodness, look at that. We got a bad news for this company. We're subtracting 110.54. If you subtract these, 91.96, I'm sorry. I should have wrote 96. Let me fix that. 96 minus 110.54. I mean, bad news for this company. Their profit is in the negative. Is that possible though? Yeah, they're just not making any profit. So, the average loss is actually $18.58. So something's gotta be done about this situation, right? The business better make some money. All right, but now let's look at the last one. This is gonna be a challenging one. They want you to find the rate at which the average profit is changing. So you know what they want you to find over here is find the average profit and then take the derivative of that because that's what the rate of change is. And after that, we're going to plug in 300. That's a little tricky one. So, I'm going to pause this video and come back and show you part D in another video. But in this video, I just showed you how to find average cost, average revenue, and using those two, how to find average profit. But come back and watch the second video on this part.